What's up, man?
Yeah.
What you doing? How's it going?
Oh, hey, man. Good morning.
Man,
Yourself?
good afternoon. Even though we live like really close to each other. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the GMAE Show. Today is December 6th, 2022. It is 9:06 a.m. my local time, but it may be December 7th, 2022 if you're joining us in the Asia Pacific region. Good morning. If you're joining us in India, good evening to you. Africa, Europe, all over the place. Good evening to you folks. Good afternoon to those of us joining in South America. Some of you in North America, and good morning to the rest of the world. Chat, we're having a good time today. Got a couple of things going on. First, on this show, every time we run this show, we are playing the games that you are creating for the metaverse. Maybe you're creating a game for the Game Jam. You're using the asset creation software VoxEdit or the Game Maker software. Whatever the case may be, we are helping you create and curate great content. Today, a user requested via a message on Twitter, tagged us for a game called Jetski Jones on page 100. We're going to check it out in just a bit, right after we go over the new news you need to know here in the Sandbox game. Man, it feels good. It just feels right. I don't know.
Getting that rhythm back. We got to get back to it.
I got out of a big, long meeting just a minute ago with all kinds of beans in it that we can't necessarily discuss here on this show. But I got to tell you, the future is looking bright. The future is looking bright. Play game for fun thing. Fun fact, did you know in Poland, the 6th of December, today, is the name day of Santa? That's cool. I did not know that. That's really cool.
I had no idea.
That's really cool for those people who have Santa involved in their culture. It's really nice to hear some little fun facts like that. I love to see how our culture can kind of cross incorporate as we get more globalized. And this, of course, the Sandbox game being a global platform. Love to see it. Love to see it. Chat, today, right now, the land sale that just opened up. The Galleria land sale is live, open until the 7th of December. That is to say, if you entered in for the raffle for the land sale, you may now have the ability to claim that land if your number was drawn in the raffle. I didn't get to win in the first raffle, had some bad luck. This raffle, I got lucky and was able to claim myself a land for 1,011 sand. Got a standard land. I didn't win a premium land. You may have gotten a premium land with the additional assets, the adjacency to these premier companies, Time, Paris, L'Officiel, Cipriani. If you did, know that there is a new fun reward included with that. Not immediately, but in the future, you will have a separate airdrop of gems and catalysts that can be used to create assets in the asset creation software VoxEdit, and then publish those on the marketplace as they are minted. So a fun benefit to those people on top of the already existing benefits for premium lands. But check it out, because if you go over to the map and I click join the land sale, we check it out on the map. You can see there are a few here. The lighter blue are people who got approved in the raffle but haven't checked yet. So if you haven't had a look, go take a look at that. See if you have yourself a claim. I ended up picking up this land right here. 25 comma negative 27. Noticed I was just 2 squares away from Game Dizzy. This is Game Dizzy's, looks like he labeled it as Game Dizzy number 4. So we're going to see some cool spaces being built in the adjacent area already. Super hype for that adjacency. You know, I know they're a strong builder. They built something in the season 3 experience. I'm getting ahead of myself. I was literally just talking about season 4, so I'm like, I'm all the way in. You know, talking about new features for the Game Maker. What we're gonna do with the 0.9 update versus 0.8 update is crazy. Got a lot of stuff going on, chat. And it's been a really fun discussion of things that I am not able to fully disclose here on the show, but really good, really good, promising things in the future here, and I'm having fun with it.
I think I can speak for the chat when I say you're killing us.
I mean, yeah, I know. But I was like, you get out of there, you're energized, you're hype about the things. Literally, that meeting went for me from 7 in the morning until 8:30 in the morning. So I was just barely out of it, like enough to go get a snack and come back and get started with this show. So it's been hype, though. It's been good stuff. The new lighting engine, getting to see a little bit more about that, seeing more about swimming, those things that I've sort of talked about before or released. You've seen it out on Twitter. Things like those features are crazy. And then talking about optimization. But I've seen the lighting engine now in multiple different environments, and it's pretty darn good. I'm very excited about it. Very, very excited about it. So, chat, this is the first piece, of course, the land sale. Go check it out. There's plenty left to be claimed by folks who got approved in the raffle. So you're going to want to look at that. Then, the next piece, the Playboy Party People Collection. Channel your inner bunny. Rub shoulders with the Rabbitars. Party with the Playboy Party People. You can mint yours now over on the Polygon Network. You can see common rarity. Here to party all night. Rares, 15% standing out with style. Epics, this ain't my first rodeo. Legendary, they're the cream of the crop. And then the iconic one of ones, rarity less than 1%. 1 in 1,969 units will be listed as iconic. You can mint yours on the marketplace. And then the last piece, there's a quest currently available for it right now in the season of content. It says, get ready to head into the AFA Village by at AERA_football. Celebrate, learn, and explore the stories and legends of the Avi Celeste. I'll be Celeste. I almost had it. I almost had it, chat. I messed it up. Vamos, let's go, Argentina. All right, season of content. You can click the link by checking it out at the Sandbox game or going to the events section. If you click play and click events, AFA Village presented by OneFootball. 28 quests to do here. You can compete and earn a share of 50,000 sand in the reward pool just for playing in the Sandbox game. So if you don't still have the client installed or you haven't updated it in a bit, go get that downloaded. Get yourself some playtime in there. Have some fun in the space. Oh man, I'm freaking out, Conrad. I'm freaking out, bro. I literally being in that call. I don't know if you guys know, Zoom has like a maximum cap for how many people you can have in a call. We hit that cap. I had to rebroadcast the call into a Google Meet because the staff everywhere from all over the world, we were all in this meeting discussing things that are happening in the future of the Sandbox game, including features that you guys have been asking about for a while. I got a little sneak peek on some multiplayer action. Let me tell you something. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun, but it's gonna change the game on all level design, I think, once it gets released, and that's gonna make this show even more fun for those people who are interested in creating. Love to see it. Hero protagonist, appreciate the World Cup chat. Keep me updated in the chat as we talk about this, because I've been very hype. Not previously a football watcher, like literally at all. Have one of the best teams in the United States here in my state. Won multiple U.S. local MLS championships because we call it soccer. I don't know why. So keep me updated on it. Let's play some Jetski Jones. World Champion. This was created by Solstice, requested over there on Twitter. I mentioned, hopefully they're here with me in the chat so they can see this feedback directly. If not, they can always check it out later on VOD over on youtube.com/thesandboxgame. Jetski Jones, we're playing it blind, okay? I didn't play this before, and this is kind of the standard process if this is your first time watching. I don't like to play a game ahead of time because I don't want to have tips. I also love to have the developer in the chat so they can see it live, but I try not to read the chat because I don't want them to influence the way that I play unless I feel like I'm stuck to a point where it's excessive. And if that ever happens, chat, this is a good thing. This is what the show is all about. I'm here to break the games. I'm here to check the quality of the game for you. And then if you would have played it one way because you were the developer, that's totally normal. I'll play it a different way because I'm playing it blindly. I didn't create it. I don't know where to go. I don't know who to talk to, that sort of thing. So we're having a good time with that. Jetski Jones, world champion. Let's get on with it.
Right. We always make it so We go in blind. That way you can see somebody doing it for the very first time. Because while you builders are out there in the Game Maker working with the VoxEdit, you get too familiar with your own product, and it becomes just a simple lay of the land for you. You forget that you need markers. You forget that you need quest indicators and hints that you need to go in certain directions because you made it.
Yeah. And this one may be a little more obvious, and I'm hoping that's the case. I feel like that's going to be the case just simply because it is jet skiing, so I'm going to probably be avoiding the land. But that doesn't necessarily mean that I will avoid the land. If I get into a situation where I feel like I can shave, like if this is a race and I can shave a bunch of time by completely ignoring the fact that we're in the water, and that's possible, then you may see that I try to do that a little bit here because I want to kind of break the game as well. And I want so like immediately I can jet ski on the land. I can see this.
You can hurt yourself, but
it hurts. It hurts. That's good. That's good. Okay. All right, we're rolling out. That's not great. Not great for Joe because I'll probably die now. But welcome to the annual. Yes.
It does inspire us to try and find those skips because it's not an instant death.
Right. That's true. There's a couple of ticks, but clearly the jet ski does not belong in the land. And we're breaking it down, and that's pretty funny. Let's see. Welcome to the annual World Jet Ski Championship. Quickly collect all the checkpoints for each lap and complete the race before your fuel runs out. Before I turned very Nordic there. Also, be sure to keep that rocket in the water. Got it? Yes, sir. Very well then. On your mark, get set. Let's go. Okay, here we go. First of all, just immediately dying because I want to see what happens. And no big deal. If I am holding shift, I'm going a little bit faster. The checkpoint markers, great, easy to see. This person's like just lounging.
Really like the terraforming they've done with this map.
There's a cave I want to explore, but we'll see. Oh, hey, what's up, little shark dude? They're just pushing me around right there. Oh yeah, all right. Oh, okay. All right, so as I'm going up that ramp right there, cool thing you did. The ramp is here. It's obvious. Chat, you guys know, you can see it. First, I would probably say that aesthetically, if I'm being picky, which is the point, I would probably have this have like tires or some sort of inflatable to make this ramp not just a straight ramp, but make it make sense that it's sitting on top of the water, so that when I go up,
either that or make it to where it's see through and it's just the arrows themselves.
Yes.
You can get that idea that you are gonna pop the wheelie, right?
Yeah, if you want to make it like a purely aesthetic thing, or you want to make it feel more like an arcadey style game, then yeah, you do that where you make it a transparent arrow effect, and if they go on it, yeah, maybe it looks like you just jumped, but you didn't jump. And I actually also really like and appreciate the fact that the physics that you've put on the ramp have this sort of like additional ramping without you seeing it, because it gave me that sort of sense that I did really jump off of it.
Right, you got that air.
Yeah, we're getting the air, big air. That feels fun to me. I like that.
A little bit of an obstacle here.
Yeah, little obstacle, little basic obstacle. And the ramps, I think, actually add quite a lot to this, because I don't get a huge sense of speed when I'm holding the shift key right now, right? And that's sure.
Yeah, we're going as fast as we can.
This is as fast as we can go, and it's not all that fast, right? So that ramp there, going full speed, if you wanted to make it feel like I was going to be able to land on this thing, I would go ahead and leave the physics so that you do just jump onto it rather than fall down and over it. Also noting that it's a little bit tilted to the right. Not a huge deal, I guess, but at the same time, the other one wasn't. And this would lend me to want to ride off to the right. So if you want to have it where it feels more like a curvature, pushing me off to the right side, that's cool. But I think that would be better applied if it was transparent, as Conrad mentioned. Personally, or just flatten it out. If I jump off of the end, then I get some extra air and I do land on this object. So the question that you should ask yourself really as the dev is, do you want it to be more skill-based play? And if so, they will learn that, but there's no reason to go up the ramp at all necessarily. So it may be faster to have completely ignored this. If I was really speedrunning, I probably would have just gone on the left. If I'm playing it like an arcade game, then I'm going to, run it on the right.
You want incentive for, your extra fun stuff, right? So
exactly.
If you were to make it to where that ramp, like, let's say each different obstacle here, each different ramp, the extra path that you could shortcut is destroyed if you fail to do it right off the bat. So you can no longer get up that ramp, things like that. So you can make it to where the primary direction is a lot harder, but if you have some skill, you can skip it using these boosts.
Yeah. Now I'm seeing this cat here. It's glowing. I'm really compelled. Like, I want to jump on the cat and like see if I can capture it. But I probably need to understand a little bit more about the maximum possible height / range. There it was. Okay, about twice. Looks like they just put another singular ramp up there. So if I'm going up there, here. Oh yeah, you can totally grab Biggie the cat. Bonus, rescue Biggie. All right. Okay, so I like that. I can definitely appreciate that. Overall, I think maybe as I'm looking, it's like way faster to just jump all day. Is there a way to improve that walk speed? Because while I'm in run, this asset's speed, because it's not a regular character, this asset actually moves quite slow, or at least it feels like it moves slow. So I think, okay, there's a couple laps. We're still grabbing these objects. But as we go, I'm noticing immediately that it feels better when it's a little bit faster. With the design, of course, I think I would love to see this game always be fast. I mean, jet ski, go fast,
Right. And of course, chat, we do know pressing Z will change your walk speed.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll be getting to any backlog questions in just a bit. We're going to try and get our first playthrough.
Yeah, so if I'm going slow, chat, you can see here, this is what it's like when you're not, automatically increasing your move speed. And then when I hold down the shift key, or I could press Z to toggle this. The shark. Another shark. Another one.
Definitely like to see more obstacles in this.
Yeah, we could save a little bit of time by jumping over some things, but mostly really good things. I'm liking that every object that is land-based, that isn't obviously like for tricking out, like doing little jumps. They do deal damage to your jet ski. I really appreciate that. And I'm seeing the checkpoints here. Okay, so I probably could have done lap 3 if I didn't go slow and kind of observe all the different things, but I think I'm going to miss lap 3 here. We'll see. I do like the fact that I will miss lap 3 on the first try. It's not like so easy that I could completely not care. And it is quite obvious to what you are grabbing. I would probably replace, for me, these green orbs / red, blue orbs, what have you, just for the fact that they have a high poly count for no particular use. If that makes sense, they're just supposed to be like an object.
Right. I would definitely just go with there was an effect on that cat that you picked up that highlights objects. I would definitely just go with that. Because you see that a lot in racing games or in, action RPGs. Like, for instance, you think of the Spider-Man series, whenever there's a quick speed run mission or something like that, it's just a light beam to tell you where to go.
Right. And you can do that with any size asset, right?
Oh, yeah.
It looks like Smokestone Media says that it's way faster when they play it. So I don't know if this is related to an update or, something like that. But
I'll give it a go on my computer over here. See if I can beat your time. This is a beautiful map. I would really like to see the dev go ahead and make a series out of this Jones character here, or just jet skis in general, right? So
yeah, I mean,
we have like an adventure mode.
Yeah, it's interesting because this could also go very well as a later, like a multiplayer experience, because it really doesn't have too much. Well, I don't know. I guess the way that because you must grab the sort of bubbles in order to progress in the lap 1, lap 2, lap 3, instead of it being checkpoints based on like proximity, it probably, I guess, wouldn't work super well as a multiplayer, but it can be easily modified to work well as a multiplayer if
Right.
it did have proximity checkpoints with visual indicators rather than actually grabbing the thing. Here we go. How is the avatar even able to move on water, they say? Well, by default, your avatar can move, but I think what's happening here is that the water top layer itself is like physics of normal water, and right under that is a like glass layer or something there to hold you up.
A set of clear blocks directly below it.
Yeah.
Or just barrier in general.
Visible platform, saying Smokestone.
Right. All of the above. Oh yeah, I am moving the same speed as Joe here when I booted up, and jumping does make you faster.
Yeah, and this is the point, right? This is why we do the QA testing. This is why we check out your games here live on the show, because, like, if you want it to be about a race, people are obviously they're going to, move as fast as they possibly can, and if that means jumping, then there you go. Oh. And then I got that bonus quest for the cat for picking it up.
Right.
But I don't know what the bonus quest was. So I didn't. If we're gonna have a cool bonus quest like that, which I agree you should, that was a bit of fun there. I'd like to see it where there's a sort of a turn in for the cat. No. Okay. We're pro.
Or at least have, more Easter eggs to go along with that.
Yeah. How do I get up there? It says it's pro.
Adding in a proximity to the checkpoints here and allowing your players to just go through the various areas without having to necessarily go through a certain spot. Because being forced to go through and go into the one path,
there we go.
It kind of negates the agency, because we're stuck to going down the intended path that the dev wanted us to. And of course, in these style of games, I want to explore. I want to be able to see if I can't make a better and faster time. And if I'm locked down to only going to that next blue orb and not the giant, huge platform that is the next checkpoint, then I'm not able to explore. I'm not able to enjoy what you've made. And also, I can't go and grab extra Easter eggs or hidden
Oh,
things.
I can't get this octopus to like just give me the orb, bro.
You tried beating him up?
I mean, no, but okay, all right.
Just spam jumping on him?
I basically, I jumped sideways a little bit.
Okay, definitely got to check out that octopus.
Yeah, I think there's some vertical there that should be addressed just a little bit. Either make the octopus shorter or the ball more accessible. I want to be able to jump on the octopus's head as part of like this sort of double jump mechanic makes sense there. But you know, in another sense, the idea that I have to be a pro to actually do that does track. So,
but once again, I would like to not see the orbs as something that's mandatory.
sure. Yeah, no, I would agree. Like some kind of a hoop or whatever that just disappears based on proximity and not so much like grabbing the thing. And I can confirm there that it was about grabbing it because I was able to jump on it, rather than like actually grab it because you have to go through it to grab it. If you can bounce off of it, that can also sometimes be exploitable. So that's something to watch out for. But overall, I mean, this is a really good game in terms of like the fundamental mechanics of what gaming should be. It's a fresh, fun world. The idea of riding on a jet ski has not been done by any other sort of experience. So I think that's pretty good. Let me see. Smokestone says, "Can you show me what happens when you press Z?" All right, let's take a look.
Oh, it just toggles the speed, and when you hold down shift,
right.
It's the same thing.
Right. I mean, yeah, pressing Z, this is it. This is me with Z on. This is me with Z off. Not a very good jet ski. I look like that kid who is getting on a jet ski for the first time ever, right? And they're like,
you ran out of gas.
Yeah, now this is me Z on. Okay, this is me Z and shift. This is me with Z on and shift. Like it's the same thing, right? So jumping is still faster. Straight away. Clearly jumping is faster than the Z on or the shift. It's no wake zone speed. Exactly. Like you're you're literally driving by the people who might be swimming, right? You're like, I don't want to do that. That's that speed. So we want to see high like wakes speed. And you know, that actually may be something to think about with the jet ski itself as well, is in terms of the asset design. Can we make it so that if we know that it's kind of always going to be in the water, can we make it look like it's splashing up something a bit in its idle animation? Is it like splashing something from the rotors? Do, 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 do.
Go.
Okay, username asking a good question. David over on YouTube saying, can I send a land that I got on the Polygon chain to my main ledger wallet via Polygon chain through OpenSea? Or do I need to bridge that land to ETH first? I'd say the first thing that you should check is make sure that the ledger is supporting the Polygon NFTs. I only say that because I don't use Ledger for NFTs directly. I use my Ledger for just, you know, liquid tokens. But the aside from that, yeah, if it's moving on the same network, then it's just a transfer from wallet to wallet at that point. So there should be no issue there as long as there is support for Poly NFTs on the ledger itself, which I think there should be. They're pretty big. But
and Smokestone, what version of the Game Maker are you playing on? It should tell you as soon as you load in. That might be the difference here, because there's nothing equipped that would affect Joe's character here or my own. We might have a difference in Game Maker. But we do have some other questions. Joseph, play game for fun earlier, much earlier, said that you cannot claim leaderboard rewards. It's not showing the claim page at all. And how about all the events with the avatars and without the avatars? You're just not seeing it.
Sure. Well, claims as they are available are on the sandbox.game/me/en/claim. I think I got that URL right off the top of my head. But you can click the avatar, your profile picture in the top right, go to your claim section, and if you had a reward that could be claimed as a result of the season, then you can claim them there. The same thing would be true with any of these special events as the rewards are distributed. Keep in mind that those distributions do take more time than most people expect because there's validation and verification that you are a real person, that you are not, making duplicate accounts, all that sort of stuff. So if that, if you were one of those people, then there are consequences for those sorts of things. But otherwise, it should be readily available for you as soon as possible. So, honestly, like running through this is a heck of a lot of fun. What am I? It
looks like the claims tab is being worked on at the moment.
Okay, yeah, there may be. I mean, as the nature of this system works, we are in alpha. We are actively developing, changing, adjusting all sorts of different functions in the platform. So yeah, you may see some updates go out, especially during this time. Let me see, 9, 10, 11, 12, like 4 hours from now. Usually the Paris offices are closed, which have some of our main like dashboard development teams in there. So at that point, then it's pretty safe to say that a new update will not be issued in the day. So if something was to go out, usually it'll go out like 30 minutes before then. There we go. I got that one eventually. Here we go. But yeah, I mean, this is, like I said before, in terms of like what this experience is, I like this experience overall. I'd love to kind of, okay, well, can I go over here? Or are we just teasing? This is a tease, isn't it? I can jump on this whale, but I can't go over there. Crazy. I'd like to see some Easter eggs probably thrown off into these like side areas. Obviously, they're not mainline missions, but if I've got remaining fuel, let's go check it out. Let's go enjoy this space. And then also in terms of like world building and making it feel fresh and fun. Why is Jetski Jones the only racer out there right now? Let's put a couple of people out here, a couple of AIs on rails that can, that I can just pass them. I just want to lap them.
Right.
Like they're coming up from different areas, even if it is a time trial based thing. Have them running, and they can spawn based on when you have your different laps pop in, different people come in from the side of here and just kind of whoop, run out, run up, that sort of thing. I think that can give it a little more life to the world because, if you're out there in the ocean, you're not the only person there. So yeah, I like all the life in it. I like all the people outside it, all sorts of different characters, all sorts of different arts. It really does feel alive and it feels like a lot of fun. It's slower than it should be, but I think that if you're saying that it's faster in your play tests, this is absolutely why you have somebody come in and play test it separately. So Smokestone Media, you're saying NPC pathing through the air is very difficult. Multiplayer is what I was hoping for. 100%. Smokestone is you could see the Smokestone Media sign on the inside of the cave there. So this is kind of live feedback. So as you think about this, NPC pathing through the air is difficult, absolutely. But if you don't attempt to path them necessarily, but you have an asset, literally like a platform, carry it / move them to those spaces, then that can be done. It adds a little bit of extra work. So if through the air doesn't work for you, then take some of those like additional paths in the water and just have them run a straight line, turn around, go back, do some laps, laps with characters that look like Jetski Jones here. It shouldn't
Joe,
be.
Quick question.
Yes.
Can you tell me the number that's in the upper right for you?
0.7.80. 2022
Should be 11.
101 419. It should be 11. All right. Well, I just downloaded a new version like 5 minutes ago, so let's see if I can get that installed really quick. I'll do it live for you, chat.
Yeah. That might help us with our speed issue here.
Yeah, let's see.
But while you're thinking about that, the BitFox says, is the Kverse land sale free for all, or is it just for Korea?
I haven't seen any sort of restrictions based on region. But I'm not, to full disclosure, not in charge of that process. I'm noticing that I don't see it here on the main page. If I was to go to map previously, excuse me, I'm going to hit explore. No, shop. Heck, I'm going to hit shop and then I'm going to hit map. And it's not on my right side section. So somebody, in the Asia Pacific region would be able to confirm this for me off the top. Or, you could explore this possibility yourself by checking with a VPN if that's possible. Again, not totally in charge of that sort of process or in that box, but I think that it's possible. Yeah.
We'll try and look into it and see what we can't find out.
Yeah, that'll take some time. Oops, nope, not that one. Yep.
You may have to uninstall the previous Game Maker.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll do it live. It'll be quick.
Karthik over on Twitch says, how is the Avatar even able to move on water? What's the logic there? And we kind of went over that a little bit, having some invisible platforms underneath it. But real soon, we will end up having actual water movements as well. That's been teased for quite some time.
Yeah, the 0.8 update isn't scheduled to come out in like a real short duration, but let's go back and let's have a look at this in the 0.7.11 update, and we'll see if I'm faster now. Jetski Jones.
It was asked quite a long ago by the mythical Yeticorn. They want to know how to set an image on your land.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can show you that. Okay, so if you click on your land and you click this little pencil, I don't know if you can see that, right? You cannot. Okay, just off the right side of the screen here, forgive me, my framing is a little bit zoomed in. There's a little pencil next to the name of your land. It says land 25, -27 for me. If you click that, you get a pop-up. You can upload an image to preview your land. This is not the one that's on the map, but it is a preview of what you actually have that you are developing for this space. So you can upload any picture you want to do that. The land map logo, click the plus on that, upload a logo. It must be a square format, and it should be less than 90 kilobytes, or kilobits rather, kilobits. So upload that there. Of course, you can add descriptions, URL, land name, change it to whatever you want. But yeah, it takes just a few seconds, just off the right side of the name there.
Right. And Will, if you want an NFT from the end of season 24-hour stream, there were quite a bit of rewards that we still have to send out. Some of them are just taking a little bit longer as we are manually doing that. It's not by a bot or anything like that.
There are different kinds of NFTs that were also awarded. So some of those are in Alex's wallet. Some of them were in mine. Some of them were in Panda's wallet. So there's some organization that would have had to gone out there. But if it was a Wizzy asset, then that list might have gotten updated even as much as today.
Right.
So we'll see. How big is that map? TMO photo. If I was to guess, this is on a 2x2. Yeah, it says size of the game 4 lands. So this is a 2x2 map. It would require a 2x2 land organization. If it's made for a game jam, then that may be. Of course, you can make it any size you want there. All right. So I'm going to play it one more time. We'll see. Okay, default speed. This is my Z speed. Seems to me it's exactly the same. I could be wrong.
It's about the same, yeah.
Yeah. It looks the same to me. Not much faster. If I jump, I'm still faster than walking. So yeah, no real change there from changing the version number. Yeah, what I would say happened here is that the asset speed in the Game Maker version that you published might not be as fast as the maximum potential asset speed. So look at that when you're in the development section. And if that's the case, then it's an easy fix. And, then you've maxed it out and I can go super fast.
Oh, we got that full height right off the bat.
Oh, yeah. Skill-based play,
Seriously, though, the assets and the design on this map, fantastic. I love looking underneath the water there, seeing like the little hidden submarines and giant starfish and stuff. It's a very, very pretty map. Very well done.
This is well done. I really like this quite a lot. And that's what it's all about. It's all about taking a thing that is good or is just getting started and just refining it here on the show to help make it more compatible with as many people as possible. Because I think if you show this off right now, this is the kind of experience that's unique enough that maybe, I'm not in charge of this program, but maybe this is a game that you get in the Game Maker Fund. How do you flesh this out? How do you take it to the next level? And with plans to go in season 4 or 5 or something like that. I think this could go there. So this is really well done. Good stuff from Smokestone.
Thoroughly impressed. Seriously, this is a level design that a lot of people want to get up to. So definitely take examples from your contemporaries and your fellow builders, and see what you can't learn.
Yeah, and I think another thing about the level design that I really appreciate is that while the world feels full and there's like a lot of good assets in here, I'm also not experiencing logic lags.
It's not lagging, and it doesn't feel like crazy cluttered, even though that there is a lot going on. But for the type of game that it is, it doesn't really affect the screen.
Right.
But it feels lived in, and that's the important part that you want to look for when you're building a game and a world. Oftentimes we end up playing even AAA games where you get this sense of dread on accident because the NPCs are too deadpanned or just generally not there. Pen Game Studios wants to know how to write colored text.
Sure. So inside the Sandbox Game Maker, you're using the Unity game engine at its base. So if you look up Unity markup code, then you'll be able to find all the different colors and text effects that you can apply, including calls for usernames by default, all sorts of different stuff. So this is the only one that's like a real, this
one's pretty hard to get.
Yeah, the black balls here, despite the update, this is kind of why I wanted to replay it on the 0.711 update, just to see if maybe there was a different verticality to the way that I'm jumping or
I had to go from the back right end from where you're at.
Interesting. Yeah. See that, I thought that caused me some damage, and I can't jump again up here. Yeah.
There you go. See, I had to catch that double jump. Yeah, it's a little difficult, but I managed to go over it.
I want to do the wiggle, and so so the reason why we're highlighting those kinds of I know that this is like what you listed as like your pro thing, right? But when you look at the users at the end of or like in mid-season, right? You remember in mid-season we had the update to the Game Maker that reduced jump height, and everybody got they were not happy with an experience that was really otherwise great purely because they couldn't get that extra voxel of vertical height. That's what you want to change, right? And there we go. Smokestone putting an example of that text markup there. But yeah, the wiggle, right? To get up here, that's not a great user experience. You want to avoid that as much as you can. You want to have it so that it's just possible to do with the way that it works now. And I understand the idea that
you're supposed to be jumping off that ramp in order to get that one.
Are you? I didn't have to do that before.
All right, well, because you did the wiggle.
All right, let me see.
You exploited your way up that.
Nope, that was the maximum distance.
I managed to get it.
You're a hacker. All right, show.
I think you just gotta become pro.
I gotta get pro. All right. Well, maximum height. Wait, what? See, that was so far away. Okay. All right. So that one in the I can see the ramp over.
There we go.
Nope.
Oh, you almost had it.
It's not enough. I can't do it.
You might be able to jump on that boat, as one box points out.
Tried to do the boat. It's still too far away.
Oh, so close.
Nope. See, you just randomly clip his eyes and you can jump over. Did it before too, and that's the thing. You want consistency in play and a kind of an obvious possibility. Games, when they're skill-based play, you want them to be, easy to get into, difficult to master sort of thing. But it should have a consistent flow and not feel random to when you have achieved that mastery.
I may have actually clipped it onto his eye to get that from where I jumped. And Smokestone might be consistently getting it from the extra speed that they have.
Yeah.
Also, they said that there is an Easter egg next to the logo.
Okay, well, we'll see if I can get that. Oh, yeah.
Oh, thank you for updating stock there inside the chat. Yes, the claims reward tab is being worked on. Nice. So there is more Easter eggs. I do like me some Easter eggs.
Yeah, I think that there's a cove right here. This cove that's on the right side behind the boat. I got a game over because I didn't proceed towards the finish line. But I'd like the ability to kind of go into this cove from both directions, even if that means that, you could possibly skip some of the objective if you were going to do it. Just because you can stuff Easter eggs in here. You can have racers riding in circles in here, and that'd be really easy to do, right? More ski-doos with circles, using the flight call, or the birds, what have you. But you've got a good experience, a really good world. The assets look clean. I like pretty much everything about this. I'd like to see a few more jet skis out here, but it's just fun. And would serve very well as a multiplayer experience. And I think you'd find that the second that you get the multiplayer going, people are going to break this in unexpected ways, and you can push updates to that, assuming you're not in the middle of a season of content where people would be upset by that sort of update.
Yeah,
but really
I was about
cool.
to point out that Flamingo as well, Captain Atari Man. It just kind of inserted himself. Oh, there was again.
It was like, hey, how's it going? I'm a flamingo. Invisible wall here before you start. Not sure that that's necessary.
I would actually remove that invisible wall and let the players go explore the map.
Yeah.
If you turn on the checkpoints by toggled by the quest starting itself.
Right. I was going to say that. That's exactly it. Because you don't need this invisible wall here at all. There's no good reason for that logic to exist. You already have the triggers for spawning the balls. Stops you from breaking the game, yes. But that's only because you have the red balls spawned by default instead of by being triggered at the activation of this quest.
Not saying it's necessarily easy to do with the current setup, but it is something desired.
Yeah, definitely something to look forward to, especially if this is a multiplayer. Nice. I hear Holly back there. Must be having fun. She's like, sorry. Damn it. No, it's okay. It's funny.
She's playing Ultimate Monopoly.
Oh, nice. But if you can start that trigger here, then what happens when you're in a multiplayer experience is that Again, if your desire is to make it multiplayer, you're going to have that off until you get the quest trigger. It says jump on land, so I die here. Let me see if I can do it. Oh,
And I'm not sure that Smokestone was with us when we had initially jumped on the land. I think they're just showing off the fact that it kills you.
Yes, yeah, familiar with that. But the again, to have it be open and explorable in a multiplayer sense, then what it does for your end user is this. Let's say you do put it in a multiplayer experience. People have raced and they've raced and they've raced and they've raced, right? Well, if it is multiplayer, they've got to chat. Maybe they're in a Discord call or they're using a text chat. They're in the metaverse. They're having some fun with that. They don't have to care about the like objective checkpoints at all at that point. They don't even have to take the quest. They could just do the race amongst each other as friends, saying, hey, this checkered flag to that checkered flag. First person to get there wins, go. And it opens it up to this infinite replayability at that point, because it's just about how good am I versus how good is Smokestone. We're going to take, if it's me and it's PandaPops here on a split screen on this show, then that's fun. That's engaging. And so you want to drive towards that as much as possible. And it's easy enough to do as long as this is the reason that those assets spawn. At the same time, while two people are running from checkpoint A to checkpoint B that they've decided arbitrarily, you may have people who are in here random, like actually take the quest, running the race, and they're getting the unique spawns of the balls, baubles, what have you.
Checkpoints.
Yeah, the checkpoints. Because ideally you want to change it from being this ball with the additional polys on it for no reason to some other asset. But it's really good. Lots of different cool things. Hopefully these little small tips have helped you, Smokestone, to make the next version of this just that much better, but really, really, really good.
And of course,
yes,
always take our criticism with a grain of salt, because it is not the end all be all.
That is true. You'll find that people just have different opinions. So get your opinions from different sources as well. Have somebody like Alex Florez give it a test or something like that. Ask King of Crypto if they're not already creating something like this to give it a test and see what they think about it. If it's similar feedback, then you're going to want to make those changes, because it's probably indicative of a wider market as you get it out here into the world. But once again, I think this is solid enough and unique enough that it might make the Game Maker fun. So
I say it's a very strong contender. Like if it doesn't happen, I'm going to be disappointed.
I would just apply for it and see.
This is a great experience.
Yeah,
definitely go check it out, chat. It's page what was that, 101?
It was 100 right now. 100 in the Game Maker software, but really, really cool. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to find sort of another randomized experience here. I'll go a couple
I got one for you.
Okay, what do you got?
It was a part of the Atari Game Jam.
Okay.
So I've been playing those.
Yep.
And so it's going to be page 39, I believe. This one, you got to get to 1,000 points. It's going to be the page before this one. See here, webbed pumpkin in the bottom right. I had a lot of fun with this one.
Okay, help the pumpkin survive.
Of course, there's criticism, but I can't go over exactly all of that, as you'll find those in the notes. But otherwise, I did want to touch on one thing for Smokestone. The most important thing that I wanted to do to open up the map was that I could go appreciate all the extra work that you put underneath that water and go look at all those assets. So if I could start the quest on my own volition and go exploring, then that would be so much good. I didn't like that I had a timer ticking down while I was just trying to check stuff out.
Right.
But otherwise, once again, an amazing game.
Yeah, that's a good point too. That timer ticking down, that's incompatible with multiplayer. The idea that you're going to get a failure, at least right now, that would make you exit the game as a result, that won't work. So just keep that in mind. You're already going to have that high scores timer built into the leaderboard software in whatever form it may exist at that point. But yeah, the open exploration might be good. And, the ability to just look down and be able to absorb that would be cool in other ways for different kinds of gamers as well. All right, where am I? It seems like I'm a prisoner of another game after many years. What are those spiders? They want to eat me. Please help me. Use WASD to rotate the pumpkin. All right.
So you'll see right off the bat, it gets a little monotonous. It's a little slow, but I enjoyed this one. They also didn't tell you have to press E in order to shoot.
Okay. Yeah,
and
right.
You can rapid fire that.
Why am I shooting people?
Yeah, and you're shooting little people.
Do they satiate the spider? Is that what's happening?
I think that's the idea.
You're like, I don't want to be a pumpkin. I want to.
Oh, Morocco just beats Spain.
Oh! I can't believe. I'm actually shocked. The Reconquista is coming, all right?
Okay, so our game here can only go up to 1,000 points, and that's where you get your victory screen.
Okay.
I did appreciate the walk animation on this spider. It's quite good, and there's some hidden aphids off in those plants there.
But I have like a little barrier there that I just lost?
Yes, you had your like sunflower barrier. But unfortunately, the spawns don't get much faster than this. There is there's two different variant of spider, but I only had seen 2 of them when I did a full completion.
Okay.
But otherwise, what are your feelings on this? How would you improve this?
Okay. Well, first off, I think there's a couple different ways that you can improve it. I think it's got great art, great design. If I was to create this exact same thing, I would have one spider that never attacks you. The spider sits out on the edge of the web, and over time, the spider builds more parts of the web. So the web can get bigger, right?
Okay.
That builds the world a little bit without having to have this big, huge story. Okay, first of all, spider, how dare you juke my people? Why am I spitting people?
I just want there to be a Wilhelm scream every time you shoot.
Yeah, no, it's just whatever that one was. Yeah. I think the control of the control is a little clunky, but not bad for having to use WASD. I think that's good. This sort of additional barrier thing is cool that you're doing with the sunflower buff that's here. If I could ever hit it, I guess.
I believe in you.
Joe, you can do this.
You're going to lose it right away.
Immediately. Worth.
Uh-oh.
No!
Uh-oh.
No! Okay, game over. All right. In terms of degree of difficulty, that's going to allow you to ramp. So I'm going back to the idea of the spider. So you've got this really cool spider web that's already here. You can break it up into multiple parts pretty easily. If you do that, then you can make it so that you have more spawners that sort of get spawned. Actually, there's already a spider on the periphery. I didn't notice the little green one over there.
It's a little aphid.
Is that an aphid? Yeah. Okay. Relative to the size of the spider, it's pretty darn big.
Right. Well, I mean, at least that's what I'm interpreting that as.
Yeah, and that makes sense. That tracks. But nonetheless, so you could have this small circle, and you guys could see the mouse here. So like in this area right here could be the start of the web, right? And you don't even have to keep the large strings that go out to the branches, because that makes sense. And then spawn the internal sort of strings in like a quadrant so that it comes out to, here. And then like level 3, when it starts to get crazy and you've got a more rapid increasing spawn rate, that also spawns the outer, more like tightly woven web. In terms of like stupid semantics things that I'm thinking from like an arts perspective, spider webs tend to be more dense in the middle and not on the outside coming in. Again, that it's a little thing, but
semantics, but yes.
Yeah. So, but I appreciate the fact that you have some that are like multicolored here. I think you could, having those all over. This is really good art style for that. Again, the pumpkin thing is cool. The pumpkin's relative scale to the spiders, I think, is a little bit small, but I don't know that it can be zoomed out too much more based on the art scaling. If you can zoom it out more, I would probably do that. Gives you more room for fun.
Dyslexic spider. Yep.
Yeah, Captain Atari Man saying the spider is probably dyslexic like me. Man, a funny thing. I don't know if you looked at. Scientists have done research to be like, if a spider eats this or has this kind of chemical exposure, does the web change? They do dramatically. Super cool video. Check it out. As the designer of this level, maybe that interests you too. Like, you could have an AoE effect similar to like your flower defense, but like a thing that affects the way that the spiders move. And different spiders spawn as a result of that with different logics. But there's lots of different cool possibilities with this level. I like it for what it is. Now, something else that I do when I rate these Game Jam games. This is the Atari Game Jam. Does it feel like an Atari game?
Remember, they had to. The competition was combining two different Atari games from a list of 15. And the idea for this one, I believe, would have been Black Widow and Missile Command or Human Cannonball.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah. That was in the description, right? The Human Cannonball thing was in the description. So in terms of that, I think that it does meet up with that. Atari games haven't always been low fidelity. I was going to give it the credit of that like Missile Command feel before you even mentioned that, just because, it does have that sort of static movement that's in there. There's no indicator to where the humans will go, like might have been done in an Atari game, but that's fine, I think. So I think in terms of like pure gameplay mechanics, it sort of lines up with what all those Atari games do. I like the score indicator on here. I don't like, as you mentioned, Conrad, the idea that there could be a potential cap to the score. I understand that's some additional work to make the scoreboard possible, but to make it 4 and 5 digits just gives somebody out there, when you publish this on Twitter or whatever, and you say, who can show me the highest score? Somebody will go out and get that like 5-digit all nines score and send it to you. And you'll go, whoa, how long did that take? I was playing for 8 hours straight. And you go, what? That's
thank you.
Yeah, like that's what you want though, right? You want the ability for them to not feel suppressed by a scoreboard in general. And when they do put in that excessive amount of play, then you can help say thank you and hype them up and share it and do all that sort of thing to get it out there. The BitFox, I don't see the rest of that, but you say, what can I do against this fraudster? Please give me advice. Reported him already on Twitter. That's the best that you can do. Usually it gets solved within like a couple of hours. So I've seen a couple of different experiences that tweets and stuff, right, where that people will be pretending to be the Sandbox, and I just with a huge warning first saying, hey, this is a scam, please report it. Then I tell like my local friend group, and we'll get like 10 or 15 people up, like Panda or some, among those, Conrad, of course, in there. And then we all just go like, that's not a real The Sandbox game. And it's usually down pretty quickly. Okay. This is a common thing. Oh no. Okay. The BitFox says, I want a giveaway, and he says he would send me that, but he didn't. I get tagged in all sorts of things all day long. with similar things that are like, oh, here's a giveaway, here's a this, here's a that. My advice to you is don't trust anybody, period. Trust absolutely no one. If you don't like see them live here on the show, or something like that, if you're unfamiliar with who they are, and even if you are familiar with who they are, like double and triple check, and then possibly review that. But the fact is, at the end of the day, a person gets to run the contest however they want. All you can do is kind of,
in the case of BitFox here, the person that they're running the contest with, or for, said that they're a cheater, multi-accounter, all that fun stuff, and didn't send the reward, and they just blocked him. So best advice: forget your losses. That never happened, and move on. But we do have our dev for this game in the chat, Yuri. Thank you so much for making this one and letting us check it out. We definitely had I had a lot of fun with this one. I got my 100% completion on it. It was really funny because once you get the victory screen, the spiders are still spawning and they can kill you and you can get a game over in the victory screen.
Oh no.
It was entertaining, but
that's interesting because that's a good point. You can register a trigger for that so that, those spiders don't continue to spawn. And I wouldn't personally. I would not want to see a failure screen after a victory screen. But
we just definitely. I wanted more spawns over time, like a ramping difficulty. As Joe was trying to say, how you could create a larger web over time, maybe a spider on the bottom side or something like that, and just have a ramping difficulty with the number going up. Having it cap out where it is just as best that you as a dev can do, right? And then you'll have those massive speedrunners that can really overcap that. And yes, of course, Yuri made this in a week. So take that in mind as we're passing judgment here. It's a very well done for a week's worth of work, and I want to see more. So.
Yeah, and then another quick feedback as I'm launching these humans into the spiders to their ultimate demise. It'd be kind of cool, unnecessary, but cool. First, they seem to launch kind of randomly out of the projectile launcher here. They don't always go straight through. So I'm noticing when I'm shooting, I'm kind of actually going a little offset in order to actually hit these targets, but okay, nope. Get out of here, spider. Take the people. But a fun thing to do, not necessary, but hilarious, is that if when the people hit the spider, they didn't disappear, but rather got replaced by a webbed people and then disappeared, that'd be really fun. Spider would, the spider would disappear and then like webbing would be sort of left behind, like they caught their people. Nom, nom, nom yeah, a little snack later, no big deal.
If you could, I would like to actually see the spider grab the people, turn around, and run away.
Oh, that would be very interesting. Oh no, I lost my. Wait, you don't. Okay.
Oh no, it's just a barrier, just a moment.
Yeah. I thought it was going to get eliminated.
Luckily, you got a new one right there.
Right.
And as we have the wonderful and beautiful PandaPops inside the chat.
What up?
She is definitely impressed as well with what people create for these Game Jam games. And of course, she's also telling you, get good.
Get good. I knew it. I didn't even have to read it. Didn't have to read that chat. Just had to get good.
So that's a red spider. This is one of the increased difficulty here. You can see once you destroyed that one, it burst into two more.
No.
Smaller
Hail Hydra.
But so that's part of the ramping difficulty. I wanted to see more of that as we were playing here because I do believe on my full playthrough I only saw 2.
No, that one got me. That one got me.
You have that sunflower upgrade.
I know.
Right
I just don't. I don't feel like I have that much time now. Shot at it once, and then I kind of gave up on it.
Well, now you just got to get good.
Oh, wow. Just instantly, bro. Just sacrifice the people, you know? Who needs them? Who needs these people? This feels like, oh, yeah, that's rough. That's rough. I got one shot left. I got one opportunity to seize everything I ever
I believe in you. You're halfway there.
Living on a prayer. Come on, bro. Get out of here, spider. You go away. You take these people. I feel like I'm James and the Giant Peach, but like just a pumpkin that's sentient. Getting better. Getting better at this. Oh, yeah. All right. Roxy? Rox, you cannot tease me with pizza right now, okay? I'm actually quite hungry. I should have eaten more.
I'm pretty hungry as well.
I had a pizza-based Hot Pocket earlier. It didn't do it. It didn't do the thing. I woke up, I don't even know, 5 in the morning. And that was the first thing that I ate. Hot Pocket. Pizza.
Nice.
My wife was like, nice breakfast. I'm like, no, not really, but you know, this is what we do. Because I didn't have time. I'm gonna die, aren't I? You're gonna get me, aren't you, Spidey? Spider-Man! Oh. Okay, this is the real one right here. I really, none of those people worked. It doesn't actually just turn left. There we go. Game over at 870, 880, I guess. Pretty crazy. A lot of fun. For breakfast? Exactly, Hill. There we go. Hill's talking heck to me right now. All right. I'm going to make a copy of a form here, and I'm going to send it out in the chat for a Wizzy-themed NFT. Right now, Wizzy the Purple hats, still a few left. Here. This NFT can be used inside any combat-based experience inside the Sandbox Game Maker, where you can use an avatar, including in the Sandbox Game Maker gallery or in the game client, in the Cooniverse or wherever you are right now. Give me just 1 second, and this link shorten copy paste. Chat. I'm going to leave that up for probably the next 3 or 4 minutes. OG Shakespeare says the purple Wizzy hat looks great on Care Bears. Nice.
Ooh, okay.
I bet it does.
I can definitely see that.
Showed off the other day. Funny thing about the Care Bears is I have like a community manager's costume, right? It overrides whatever I'm wearing. But I was wearing a Care Bears avatar, which is 1.5 meters tall. And some of the parts don't actually fully fit the Care Bears avatar format. So my arms have extra long elbows and extra long knees. And it's pretty funny to see. So I'm just running around as a really short community manager in the space when I'm in the metaverse. Pretty good stuff. I'm curious
of what would happen if you had a large avatar, like one of the Kongs.
That's a good question. I don't have a Cyber Kongs, and I don't know that Panda doesn't use the override for the community manager look. So that's very interesting. It hides inside the body.
Huh.
All right. Okay. Hero Protagonist says, any Santa Wizzy giveaways for Christmas? Actually, the remaining Santa Wizzies from the original design, I still have a few of them, and I'm only giving those away to raise money for children's charity. So once we reach certain milestones on my personal live streams, link to a service called Extra Life, then I draw from the people who were in that milestone group. So right now I think it's Total like $800 has to be raised for children, and then whoever donated in that $800 block one of them will receive that Santa Wizzy at random. I figure, that's good incentive. Yeah, people aren't going to feel bad if they don't win because it's going to children, saving kids' lives, But yeah, usually I don't talk about that here on the live show, but, we're not going to make a new one for 2022 or anything like that. There's no plans for that. However, the hat that you can wear inside of different experiences might have new iterations come out in different years. But we'll see how that goes as we get closer to the holiday for this year. Did you do the draw for your 24-hour stream yet, Joe? I did, Jazz Wolf. There were a few people who had won there. I think I already had one from CCNC. I think D-Electronics was one of them. Maybe Hill. Maybe not. I believe
it was Hill, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was Hill was the third one so far. And I haven't got a fourth one yet. So, yeah, there are definitely some winners out there. Yeah. I haven't sent out those. I should send those out. That's on me. Those ones. Those three there, that's on me for not having sent those out. But, absolutely. Right. And that was a lot of fun, that show. Kind of just winding down, I think, now. We've got like 8 minutes left here on this live stream. Not really enough time to jump into the next one. So, Chad, if you have any questions about the Sandbox game, about the future, about crypto, that sort of thing, at this time, feel free to ask those questions, and I'll address them as best as I possibly can. If it's something that's under non-disclosure agreement, I may give you a vague answer. Just full disclosure. Can't always talk about this,
Or if it's when a certain reward is going to be released, we probably won't know the answer to that.
Yeah, not able to release those sorts of time. When Sand $200? I don't know, soon TM,
Right.
PandaPops saying when season 11 in the chat. Probably you already know, Panda. It's next. I'm just kidding. Like, how do you feel about unclaimed lands from the raffle going to auction on the open market? I think that's interesting. I
personally think it should be pushed to another raffle.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking that too. Like, there's some certain complexities that could, of course, make that possible, but aren't currently in the system. But I also have a sort of a bias towards this, like, first come, first serve basis. As somebody who has lost a lot in first come, first serve, but also was able to buy lands in first come, first serve. I like those as long as it's still restricted to people who are KYC verified as real humans, to make sure there's no like random botting. But yeah, I like the idea of another raffle too in another way. The auction is a different thing. Auction is like, okay, well, the Sandbox putting it up on OpenSea or something like that. And I think that's an interesting idea. That's good for everybody who did pay attention and got the raffle. Because any of the remaining lands that were there, presumably at auction, they're going to sell for more than 1,011 sand. Right? Which automatically gives you a free like valuation bump as somebody who was paying attention, was there, and got lucky. Right? You could kind of affect your luck if you were a long-term player in the ecosystem right now. I got corrected appropriately on Twitter earlier. So if you had gotten level 5 in Season 1 and Season 2 and Season 3, then you get some additional chances in that raffle. So it not only awards people who have been here a while, but also actively participated and didn't just sit in the background trying to make some quick cash, right? Much more likely that those people are going to actually develop something. So yeah, I like this idea of an auction for that purpose, to bump the valuation of the other people immediately. But, Hodel Hill, you had the same number of tickets that I had, 61 tickets in each raffle, saying 0 for 2. I didn't expect, to be honest, I didn't expect to actually get selected. The first day, the first one, I was like, yeah, it's probably not going to happen because there's going to be 10,000 people who put it in. I didn't get it on the first one. I got it on the second one. Got lucky in that regard. But, you know,
0 for 2 as well,
it's RNG. You know what I mean? What can you do? Yeah, Hodel Hill says, or the Mythical Unicorn saying, Yeticorn, saying, but my wife had only 41 and she won today. So, you know, congratulations, right. Mythical Yeticorn's wife. But that's the nature of it, right? If it is RNG, if it is raffle style, that's gonna be there. And again, it's possible to re-roll them up into the next land sale or another event, but another RNG creates, from a marketing standpoint, possibly some negative connotation, like these people weren't paying attention or whatever, and they like, so why should I? You know what I mean? So if you want overall net positive for your company, for your product, for your lands, you want to make sure that they go to people who are interested. I think the auction is a good mechanic for that because you know those people are engaged and interested with the product as much as people who are actively saying yes and definitely going and redeeming their win on the land market. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm hopefully we can see how this goes, and if it doesn't go well, then, you know, we don't push it forward again, and we just go with the extra raffle. Because I'm right there with you, Hill. I'm absolutely happy for Joe and all the other friends that had won and actually got through, like Yeticorn's wife. But I am sad for myself. I really wanted to get that.
Yeah, but I think that's actually another thing too that's interesting is that you know, there's no guarantee even for us, right? These people who are here on the live stream, we're doing it every day. You don't, you know, it's fair. It's fair in that way. It's fair for each one of us. Because I missed out on the first one. I did get on the second one. I probably wouldn't have gotten it in the third one if I went and submitted that. But the Mythical Yeticorn saying, why not give a few days to purchase? I think that's another good thing. Because if you are somebody who is a builder, if you are somebody who's engaged in the community, if you are somebody who's here, you're going to notice when you win or you don't win. Like we all did. We went like, oh, I have 24 hours to pay attention, to care, to get in there. And so you don't get a bunch of people who are just trying to make a quick buck in there when you have it be that sort of 24-hour turnover. Those people who are coming in to buy it are buying it because they want to build in it and they want to make the future of the sandbox like fun, engaging, whatever that means. Maybe they're making a concert, or they're making a social hub, or they're making a game, or they're making an education platform for their farm, which literally we've seen here on this show. So I think that's.
I'm with Sparky. Sometimes it does feel unfair to see those with multiple lands winning these raffles as well. Mm-hmm. I do agree with that. I wish that there was some sort of minor gating to previous winners of these raffles, maybe going forward, or some gating to those who do have a certain amount of land, so we don't have the whales going into this, and giving the 1,000 sand holders like myself a chance to try and get a land.
Sure.
So
sure.
But that's a whole different type of discussion to try and figure out the logistics for.
Yeah, and there's also this other angle too that, and we discussed this in our team meeting actually earlier today a little bit, of is it for some of these people, are they like whales, or are they like indie game studios that want to publish multiple games and need to get that out there?
Right.
Because there's going to be some people who will perceive a whale as somebody who owns an estate of any kind at this point, right? Where if you are many of us who were here like way early in the process, when you could literally build an estate just by buying because nobody was there at the land sales, those people still want to make games, and they were probably just, Alex or me or Panda, just like people that have been building it organically. So to a certain extent, I can see that. But when I see somebody like Andy Ritchie or Touche get a land, I don't necessarily look at that and go like, well, they already have a bunch of land. Like, what do they need it for? I think to myself, like, those people are already making great games. And so, yes, I want to see them get more of that. Nothing against this person in particular. They have a great platform. But if I saw somebody like Whale Shark coming in and buying individual lands, I would go like, you probably don't need that, right? But they're a super nice person, and they have a great platform, and they're doing great things in the space, and they're, buying things that for them, they never have an interest in selling. So there's good in that as well, as long as something gets built on it, right? So yeah, I mean, it's one of those things that that you want to see.
It's a big conversation
to work on. Yeah.
Right. But to a question, I'm going to do the last two questions here before we wrap things up and do our winner for the giveaway.
All right.
The Wizzy Purple Hat.
Yep.
Roxy Miguel earlier asked some date for when we can use the mini-map. In addition to using cardinal points, it would be good to add an image to that compass.
Yeah, so you don't already know, but we've seen it and done it here on the live stream before. There are mini-map elements that already exist. They're super rudimentary and look like primary colors at this point, but appear to be functional. So when that update actually releases, not 100% sure, but it could be one of those things that's not even a noteworthy update, right? It could be on a Wednesday randomly. Just they go like, okay, Minimap works now. Here you go. But that again, there's some give and take, because with the fundamental, just like blocks of color, you go like, oh well, something's over there. But what do and you don't show on the minimap matters. Or should it be a certain aesthetic? Or should it just look like a top-down thing where you can see your character running instead of an arrow or something like that? And so you end up with like a multicam feature. And how does that affect level of design, depth of field, sort of things?
Options. I want all of them, and I want to be able to pick and choose. But the last question of today comes from Play Game for Fun over on YouTube. As KYC and anti-cheating measures getting improved, can you change and add your wallet options? Legit people may need to change those compromised wallets, or just for a wallet 24 instead of 12.
Yeah, right now, obviously not today, but it is something that we're working on to be able to change and use multiple wallets for a lot of reasons. If you accidentally got hacked and you need to make sure that all of your work doesn't get lost, that sort of thing. But it goes back to a deeper conversation where you really want to make sure that you only use an active wallet that is totally unrelated to the Sandbox game for making purchases in crypto, and then have a Sandbox game wallet, and then third from there you have what's called a hot wallet and a cold storage wallet. The hot wallet is the one you actually use. The cold storage is where you put all your stuff. Third wallet is your Sandbox game account. That's best practice, because then you can't get hacked, can't lose stuff. And this becomes less of a need. But at the same time, we recognize that some people have had those issues before. We have some people, and even in the Creators Fund, who have had issues with that before. And we are actively working on being able to use multi-wallet functionality in your account right now.
Right. But on to that winner, also afternoon Pickaxe Master. I think that's Bruno in the chat.
How's it going, Bruno?
Hopefully you are still doing well. As we are wrapping up the show for today, who is our winner, Joseph?
All right, the winner here today, number 6 out of just 32 responses. Chat, wake up, good morning. You know what I mean? Where are you at? Let's go. 6 out of 32 over on YouTube.com. They answered the Walking Dead experience staying alive was their most liked in Alpha Season number 3. Still got to update that security question, chat.
All right, yeah.
Username TheBitFox on YouTube.com.
Hey.
It's the win here. And that was a themed NFT sent by Alex Florez. Sometimes it takes a while to send those out. Don't worry, though. We keep them all indexed. And if for any reason it wasn't, I think there was one user who reported that, and they shared like a little video clip of me saying it out loud. That can be helpful because during the alpha, there were so many to distribute. I do
love this, though. I love this, Joe. The BitFox was talking about earlier inside the chat how they had won a giveaway on a Twitter event and they got duped out of it. So congratulations, BitFox.
I got one here, that's what you get for hanging out, having fun, playing through these experiences, learning more about how to develop high quality content in the Sandbox game. Once again, special shout out, thank you to the people whose games we played here live today. Hopefully we helped you out with game design in the future. And if you continue to develop these two experiences, I think both of these experiences are worthwhile to put in the metaverse. Some depth on this second one. You made it in a week. Of course, it would require some more depth, but beautiful work, great art, great fun. We had a good time here today. Thank you so much, Conrad, for hanging out with me. Thank you, chatters, for being here.
Thank you, Joe, for being alive.
You know what? I'm going to try to keep doing that. So right now, I'm going to send us over to an intermission screen, and then I'm going to go over to twitch.tv where I can see if anybody else is creating inside the Sandbox game, whether you're making yourself in VoxEdit, or whether you're like King of Crypto right now with 26 viewers on VoxEdit Tuesdays, streaming the Sandbox game. We'll raid you. So if you're watching live in the future and you're creating something and you want to keep the Sand Fam rolling, feel free to, of course, open up a stream right at the end as we go through this intermission. I'm going to bring us to King of Crypto and just roll out.
Always, chat. Don't forget, every day becomes easier if you let it. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening.
All right.